guys, welcome to Season 2, Episode 13 of the Tech Check. Before we begin, here's a word from our sponsor.
Today's sponsor is Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. It has creation tools that allows you to create and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer. Anchor also distributes your podcast for you on multiple platforms such as Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can make money with no minimum listenership, and everything is in one place to create a podcast. Download Anchor on the App Store or Play Store, or you can go to anchor.fm to create your podcast today.
All right, guys, welcome back to episode 13 of the Tech Check. Today we've got a guest speaker, Dylan. So, Dylan,
Mhm.
tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're going to talk about today.
So my name is Dylan. My internet name is the Duck's Eye. I make videos on YouTube on a channel called the Duck's Eye. They're mostly like experimental short films and things like that. I also collect video games, primarily Nintendo games. I have a few others, but mostly for the Wii, DS, 3DS, and the Wii U, classic Wii U. But yeah, that's basically what I do. I also do drawing. I have a comic that it's on hiatus right now, but Bag of Tricks. I do other art all around. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to
And I
check them
love
out.
tech.
Yeah, if we're going to...
I'm
Yeah.
all about tech.
Gotta love the tech on the
Let's
tech.
go.
But we're going to put Dylan's details in the description if you're watching this on YouTube, or probably in the description on Spotify and stuff as well. So if you want to check him out, look there for his details. We'll probably have him in some Instagram post or something too, so watch there. Okay, Dylan, let's start off with, well, I personally am not that involved in Nintendo history. I'm not sure about Prothman than I, but either way, you mind just giving us a brief detail of, Nintendo's history and all that sort of stuff?
So Nintendo is a very old company. They were founded in 1889, I think. And for the first 7 years or so years of their company, they made mostly they made mostly Hanafuda cards, which are a bit of a Japanese version of playing cards to get past the gambling laws of Japan at the time. They did a lot of other ventures, including toys and little LCD handhelds, until they went into video games. And their video game history has been a bit rocky. They had a few rough patches, but they have had a lot of smash hits like the Wii, DS, and now the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I think that's about all we need for that. So we should probably dive into the most relevant part about Nintendo, which is current, relatively up-to-date news about what's happening in Nintendo. As a whole, from what I've seen, Nintendo's been pretty quiet, especially over the past couple of months. So there isn't much really recent news to talk about. You guys got anything?
Well, I think the reason that there's no news is because in Japan, the coronavirus has hit very differently, because a lot of Japanese workers aren't really used to working from home. Some of the traditional Japanese lifestyle, a lot of them don't have a lot of possessions. I mean, that's a generalization, but many of them don't have the internet or like a work computer. So Nintendo's been hit a lot, and you can definitely see that in their game releases. They are putting out Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Minions. Bowser's Minions, that's a different game. Plus Bowser's Fury, which is a re-release of the 2013 Wii U game, but with new content. It looks really cool. It has a lot of charm to it. I'm pretty much looking forward to that only. Do you guys have any thoughts? Have you seen the
I've seen the trailer. I've got a glimpse of the trailer, but that's really it. Again, no Nintendo console myself, so I can't really play it. But considering the history that the Mario franchise has had, it's probably going to do well, especially in today's market where Nintendo's not releasing much. And considering this being the latest release in Nintendo, it's going to be pretty big. At least it has to be big, or else it's not going to bode well for Nintendo as a whole. On that note, I feel like we should talk about Nintendo and its competitors with other gaming consoles and other companies. What do you guys think about with Xbox and PlayStation releasing the new gen consoles? How do you guys think Nintendo is going to fare or react, at least try to react with the coronavirus and everything.
They don't react. That's like their thing. Like they have kind of positioned themselves as an entirely alternate option. They used to directly compete with the competition back in the 2000s and the 90s, and that went really bad for them. So since the Wii days, they've been kind of doing their own thing. But the PS5 and the Xbox Series X are definitely gonna really kind of make the Switch look a lot worse because it's kind of behind already, using most of the same tech from the Wii U with a few upgrades. So it's really going to show its age.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that being said, Nintendo still has that massive assortment of exclusive games, which is extremely tempting in itself. And I feel like in order for Nintendo to keep sales up and keep competing per se, they need to maintain those exclusives and maintain the hype around them, and make sure they're actually, putting out good games so that people will stick with Nintendo.
They'll always do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like what's good about Nintendo is that they're kind of like separated from the mainstream gaming market, where their games are a whole lot different. Like they're not as graphic intensive, but they're more storyline based. They have a lot more puzzles and sort of things that I've seen compared to like mainstream games. So I think Nintendo could still keep its market up there, just keep releasing exclusives like that and stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely a very niche place for Nintendo to be.
I don't think it's as niche as you think it'd be. I think what they're basically doing is the blue ocean strategy from the Wii, where they're getting everyone to play video games. A lot of people that don't normally do it, but it probably seems alienating to. It's kind of weird because unlike the Wii, this seems like it also complements other systems very well because of the portability and the Nintendo brand name that they've kind of been rebuilding since the Wii U days. It's gotten to like the esteem again where people really want to play Nintendo games.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. But like, I feel like with the PS5 and Xbox, like I'm just really worried. I guess Nintendo would lose a lot of the fans that it used to have. But I'm not 100% sure on that because Nintendo, I feel like, has a different community than like PlayStation 5 and Xbox players. Like for example, I play a lot of sports games, and I'm not 100% sure whether Nintendo, I guess, like has a lot of sports games with like NBA and NFL. So I think it's just really based on the community.
Yeah, sports games are definitely not their thing. EA is they're doing they're putting something on the Switch. They're putting like an old version of an already old version of the game. Like they call it like a legacy edition. And it's like and there's like that the 2K wrestling series where like the 2018 one was so broken that they can't even believe they released it. So yeah, that's definitely a weakness of theirs.
Yeah. I feel like, again, like I said before, Nintendo's going to be riding on the fact that their current fan base is going to push forward, is going to stick with Nintendo. I mean, current Nintendo fans are pretty diehard Nintendo fans, especially with the type of games that Nintendo releases, which is, at least in my perception, quite a bit different than what Problem Solved is like in mainstream, the mainstream video game market with Xbox and PlayStation. So, like I said before, assuming they continue putting out the similar types of games, I feel like they should be fine. So do we have any like relatively recent news apart from the new Mario game about what Nintendo's putting out?
So, they've been there are a lot of most of it's bad news. Like a lot of projects have been in development hell for a really long time, and 2020 definitely didn't help that. Bayonetta 3 has been getting the same news over and over again, where they keep saying that it's in development without any details, and they've been saying that for like 8 months. Same with Metroid Prime 4. That was announced years ago, and we haven't gotten a single screenshot or anything. So it almost seems like it's vaporware, if you guys know what that is.
I actually don't know what that is.
Oh, vaporware is basically when something is announced and then it's just never talked about again. So it technically exists and it's on the release lineup, but it's unknown if it's ever gonna happen because it's not anywhere on any charts or anything.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
Question: does Nintendo ever have a plan on releasing like something after the Nintendo Switch? Like I know,
Oh
like
yeah,
No,
they
they
develop
don't.
they start work on their console immediately after. So the Switch, they basically like started developing that right after the Wii U. They've done that for a long time.
do you know any details on I guess what this new console would be?
No, they
Nintendo's
don't they keep that information very close to themselves.
yeah,
Maybe
Nintendo
sometimes there's stuff that leaks, but usually it's
Nintendo's usually pretty secretive when it comes to console releases, at least from what I can tell. So there probably is something in development that's probably gonna, I'm guessing, boost specs further. And I mean, Nintendo's always been keen on portability, so it's probably going to maintain that as well. But they definitely have something in the works right now. We're just not sure what it is.
It's either going to be a slightly upgraded Switch that'll come out in the next year or so, or it'll be like a next generation Switch. Or what they always do is they have a new idea and then they have the next console develop that. So we're in like the phase where the Switch is like new, and the next console generation probably like 2024, 2025. They're gonna make a new Switch because Nintendo is playing the long game with the Switch right now. Any thoughts?
Probably I'm gonna go.
No, you go ahead first. I'll respond.
First. I have absolutely no thoughts.
No thoughts?
I mean, honestly, I don't really know. Like, I don't really play Nintendo that much, so I honestly think like it's slowly kind of like dying away. Unless they do something with like hooks.
Your audio's cutting out a bit, man.
On? Oh, my bad. I'll bring it closer to my face. All right.
There we go. Getting that.
So, all right, here. So, personally, I don't play Nintendo that much, but I just think that like, unless if they release something like totally new or extraordinary, I just don't see that their current community will continue supporting Nintendo, especially with like all of
Bro,
that's so wrong, dude.
You don't know what you guys
It's a hot take. It's a hot take. It's a hot take.
It's a really bad hot take.
Hey,
that's
no,
like
this is a good.
You're like the guy writing the article back in 2013 saying that video game consoles are gonna be dead forever.
No, I'm not saying like
bro.
Okay, hold on.
Nah, this is going with the nice other hot takes.
Nah, this is a hot take.
The Switch is almost sold better than the Wii did. Like, okay, it's not gonna end anytime soon.
There's no hate on the Wii. Like, obviously the Wii is like one of the best consoles of like all time, but I just don't think the Switch will do anything.
That's debatable.
Have you seen the numbers for the Switch? It's sold better than every other console Nintendo's made besides the Game Boy and the DS and the Wii. So like,
yeah, no, a lot of people have Switches. Switches are stupid
popular in like Asia.
What?
What are you saying?
The Switch is sold
like clarify.
United States, bro.
Games don't sell in Japan like at all, and like the Switch is the only console selling in Japan at all. So of course it's the big one, but in America it's also very big.
It's still huge. I mean,
considering that he used to work in retail, even years after the Switch was released, it was still selling out. I'm not going to say it was going to selling out daily because obviously it wasn't, but when you have like Black Friday sales or sales events like that, it would still sell out just as much as other consoles would. It's still insanely popular. Like Shreyas, who was on the podcast before, he got his Switch a couple of years ago. Which
I think like 2 years ago.
Long ago, right? Compared to when the Switch was released. So
I got my June of 2017.
Yeah, so you can't say Nintendo's dying out as of right now because it just isn't.
No, saying like right now.
If you said it during the Wii U era, like I'd be like, okay, sure, this $1 billion, the most successful company in all of Japan is dying. Yeah, sure, but like now, like no.
I just feel like because like I mean I don't know.
They're the best.
So that's giving me
performing
that.
company in all of Japan right now. Like electronics company. I'm pretty sure.
They're up there. All right. So let's move on from that.
That was a good tech take, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god, Vinay's
It was wonderful,
takes.
Vinay.
Takes are so bad.
I appreciate that.
It's a constant. So we should probably go into Dylan. Give us your top 5 Nintendo games and why, because
All right.
our lack of experience in Nintendo games is going to hinder us from giving us an actual
number 5
valid opinion. So
yeah. Oh man, that's a toughie because I have so many games I've played a lot recently. Number 5 would probably have to be. Let's see. I'm trying to think of the whole list. Number 1 is that. I guess I'll say a Switch game. Pikmin 3 Deluxe is one of the greatest games ever made. It is a strategy game, but it's made in a way only Nintendo could, where everything is contextualized. And instead of having like soldiers, you have little cute creatures called Pikmin, or these little bug guys, and they go around. You have a limited time per day. It's all about resource management, and the game is simultaneously adorable, extremely realistic, and honestly the best like use of realism ever. And it's also an allegory for war, so there's a great context to it, and it's very addicting. Like I play through the first game all the time, but Pikmin 3 itself is more story based and is perfect. Like, oh my god. You guys have any thoughts on Pikmin 3? Have you ever heard of Pikmin?
I've never heard of Pikmin.
I have heard of Pikmin. I've seen trailers from Pikmin. It looks interesting.
Does it? It looks kind of weird in trailers. It's fun.
I mean, there's like these little dudes with different
I have
colors
like a bunch
running around, so it is weird, but I can see how it would be a good game. That being said, I haven't experienced it for myself, so
oh man,
I'm not gonna.
Pikmin 1 and 2 are on the Wii and the Wii U, so if you have one of those, I'd definitely pick those up. 3 is on the Wii U and Switch. Yeah.
I will consider it.
We should go like 5. I mean, I don't know if you guys have 5 games. We should do like the 5th. Everyone should do the 5th, then the 4th, and the 3rd. Because I think that format works better instead of just doing like all 5 at once.
I mean, I can hardly think of 3.
Okay, that's not cool. That's not cool.
Yeah, Protham hasn't. Protham, you gotta give him some slack. He's never had a Nintendo console.
Oh, that's
Wait, no, you had a Wii.
No, I have the 2DS.
Dude, the 2DS.
Yeah.
What's wrong with
Mood.
it?
I mean, I'm kind of elite.
Nah, dude, I just like played it for a bit, and I was like, dang.
I haven't played much, but of the ones that I have played, number 5. Just because I've played the least amount of it. Again, I've only played around 5 games, so don't take any credit. Don't, yeah. You know what? Start from the bottom. We'll go from these are all Wii games except one of them.
I mean, the Wii's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go to Wii Sports Resort.
Wii Sports.
Yes, dude, that game was so good.
Wii Sports as a whole, both of them, they're both just
first one's
classic games.
The resort was great. I
Resort
love to
was-
fly plane. I always flew the plane in the volcano and tried to get out safely.
They made a
Resort
sequel
was
to that part.
yeah. Resort was
3DS.
the better one, but either way, both of them are classics.
Ah, yes, Benai.
Yes, but I
The
think
motion controls for the Wii Sports Resort are fantastic with the Wii Motion Plus. They like
Oh yeah.
so good.
I guess my top 5, the 5th, probably be Donkey Kong.
Oh, that game is incredible.
Donkey
That game
Kong,
is actually incredible.
Donkey Kong Country Returns. That's a really good game.
Oh man.
That's an elite game. I was addicted
All
to
right,
it.
here's the plan. We're abandoning the top 5 and just listing good games now.
Yeah.
Well, Hollow Knight. I played a little bit of Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is also fun.
Yeah.
I like
the game's
the
okay.
eerie darkness of it. It's a different vibe, and I actually really like that. So
I hate how the whole game looks the same. like how like the backgrounds are like
That's
I don't
true.
and that kind of scares me
It does-
away because I don't like that in long games in general. Kind of scare me
Yeah,
away.
that's true. It could use a bit of diversity, but from what I have played, it is a fun game to play.
Oh yeah,
So
Yeah, I love Scribblenauts Unlimited, bro. That game
that's a good game.
is just fun to mess around in. Just make random objects, do whatever you want.
Yeah, make it 2DS. Hell yeah. If we're talking about good games, I've been buying a crap ton of DS games. These are all super weird. Like,
Is Tetris Nintendo?
yeah,
Okay, Tetris number 4. Tetris.
I mean,
number 4.
Tetris is fantastic. A perfect
Tetris
game.
is an
The Game
amazing
Boy
game.
version.
So Tetris has got to be on there. The entire Mario Kart series, that's also a classic. God of
Mario
Mario
Kart,
Kart.
wonderful. Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart Wii is terrible.
Yeah,
You got, I'm sure you guys are nostalgic for it, but it's like really bad.
in hindsight, it is pretty bad. I mean, there is the progression that is semi-impossible to non-existent.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just that being said, I played when I was like 11, and I just didn't know how to progress in the game, so I was just stuck.
Oh,
And I was like,
I
"What am I
didn't even know
supposed
the
to
game
do?"
had progression. I thought you
what
just
do you
raced with
mean?
your friends.
Like the cups or whatever? Mario Kart
Yeah.
Wii is like
You see, I was
So bad.
looking for progression when there may or may not have been any. I'm not. I'm still not.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
I
man.
like the game. I like the game as a whole. I just wasn't sure what to do with it when it was just me playing it.
Oh. Another great game. Earthbound. Have you ever heard of that one?
Heard of it? Haven't seen much of it.
It is one of the I would say this about all the best Nintendo games, but it's one of the best experiences ever. It's this RPG, but unlike normal RPGs, the setting isn't boring. It's this suburb. It's like a suburb, and that's a very basic. A lot of people say that when they're describing the game, but the real draw to the game is how raw and emotional it is. It makes you feel things besides just fun. There's moments when I played the game and I felt like I wanted to cry, moments that were just insanely weird and wonderful, and moments that I'll never forget. Like, it's just an unforgettable game. And the sequel, Mother 3, is even better.
Have you got anything else? Because that's.
I mean,
almost-
I like the Pokemon games.
Pokemon's cool. Yeah,
Pokemon's a good series.
Yeah, they're just fun to play around with, you know.
What's
You're
your
your own
favorite Pokemon?
trainer.
Platinum.
Oh, I mean, I haven't played too many. I've only played the one I played most recently is Pokemon Y, X and Y, both of those. But other than that, I haven't really played.
I mean, don't need to know all of
Any
them to
other
have
game.
a favorite.
Platinum is gotta be
Yeah.
my favorite.
Platinum's pretty good. Yeah.
Platinum or Soul Silver.
Oh, I meant like Pokemon is in the Pokemon themselves.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
give me my
see.
Lucario.
Dude, Lucario is so good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I
I
really
don't know.
want Lucario.
I had Lucario in one of my first Platinum playthroughs, and it just stuck with me that since then. So
Oh man, it was
nostalgia.
so hard to train in that game because you had got him as an egg.
I know, but I did it anyway.
That was not worth it. It's for me.
I don't care.
Trying to think. My favorite Pokemon. I knew like I had it locked for a while, but I haven't really. Let me see. I have a bunch of Pokemon plushies. That's just how I am. Off the top of my head, Bidoof. Bidoof
I
the
respect
Beaver.
that. I respect that so much.
He's actually really good. Like, have you ever
Bidoof is
tried using
awesome.
Bidoof? He's actually powerful.
I've used him for like the first couple of gems, but he's not bad.
His
Headbutt?
ability is extremely broken. It makes it so like the stat boosts are doubled, so he can just
Yeah.
get like +6 attack like in 2 turns.
It's yeah.
He's a monster. He's a monster.
Call of Duty. All right. Do we got any other games to put out there?
I've got a lot of games, but I don't know if you
That
guys
is
have.
true. Yeah, toss us one more. Let's see this.
One more.
Yeah, if you had to put one game at the very top, what would it be?
Well, that would be Mother 3, but I just talked about that game.
Okay, then number 2.
Number 2. I'm looking at my games right now. The Wii U. Classic Wii. Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door. That one is amazing. It's another. I don't really like RPGs besides a select few, but Thousand-Year Door and Earthbound, they're definitely the two best ones ever. Thousand-Year Door is a Mario game, but it subverts your expectations at every twist. The first town isn't some fun like field. It's this beat up, busted like I don't want to. Can I say the word ghetto? It's like this friggin' rundown, horrible place. And there's like a noose. The first thing you see in the game is a noose in a Mario game. And the game continues on. Just every chapter is like this ride of just insane little mini like vignettes of these crazy stories. And the combat is also amazing.
All right, that sounds interesting. I will look into that one.
Paper Mario Thousand Door, hell yeah.
Problem Vinay, you guys got anything else to ask?
I'm sure Vinay has a lot to say, but
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear Vinay.
if we'd like to hear it, that's a different question.
Vinay, can I have some more hot takes to yours?
Yeah, I want to hear. What do you think about the Wii U?
Yeah, I only have one hot tech take an episode, but I mean.
No, we need two. We need two. This is a special episode.
We need two hot tech takes.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on the Wii U?
I honestly have. I don't really have.
Actually, no. He did have another hot tech take. He said the Wii was one of the greatest consoles to exist.
Okay,
Oh, really? I
I
agree.
did not
I agree.
say
The Wii U's cool.
No, the Wii.
Oh, the
I'd say
Wii?
the Wii is definitely like top two.
Ever?
For me personally,
Ever?
that's top two ever.
What's top one?
Probably my PS2.
PS2 sucked. I mean, it's fine, but like, PS2 ain't that.
I don't know.
I only own one. This is the only game for the PS2, We Heart Katamari. This is like the only one I've ever played and not like just wanted to die.
I mean, personally, for me, PS2 is like the first console I've ever
Yeah,
had.
Nostalgia. Okay.
It's
I
the
know.
nostalgia that kind of hits in, you know.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being mean.
No, I know.
Katamari Damacy. That game is so good on PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think two hot tech takes from Vinay means I think we should wrap it up for the episode. Thanks, Dylan,
All right.
for hopping on. Definitely. But that's it from us. If you want to check Dylan out, we're probably gonna have in the description. Check Instagram, whatever maybe. But thank you guys for listening, and stay tuned for the next one.
Peace out, boys.